All right, we got us a Honda Pilot 2012. We're doing the timing on because the water pump is right under that engine mount right there. And as you can see, this belt is shot. You can see going out of focus. You can see the marks in the belt where it's starting to deteriorate and stretch. Can't really get a good angle on it for you, but anyways, I'm just going to make this video kind of short because really it's one thing I want to address. If you're doing this job, you're going to have a lot of trouble getting this engine mount off because right up there, right where the tip of my finger is, that recess spot right there, there's a 14 millimeter in there, there's a 14 right there, then there's another 14 that's easier to get to on the other side. But that one right there that's recessed is a pain in the ass. And this one was so seized up, I had to heat it up with a torch and then break it loose. And you see that part of the engine mount up there? Yeah, you can barely fit a 1/4 inch ratchet with a 14 millimeter socket on it. So, what I recommend that you do, if you have it, is use something like this, a nano socket. Now, here's the 14 millimeter in socket versus the nano. As you can see, there's about an inch and a half difference there. Probably, we'll call it an inch or so. Now that should get in there just fine. So, when you're doing this, also, make sure you get your timing marks. Now, I'm going to throw another light on this and hopefully be able to see this a little better for you. Okay. Yeah, that's a crap angle. All right, you can see that mark right on the top where it says R70. There's a hole, and then there's a little mark up here, right there. Okay, there's a mark on the back of the engine there too. Hold on. That's hard to get a good camera angle on. There, there we go. Yeah, you can see how shredded that belt is too, but there's your marks. And no, it's not perfect right there. I know it's a little off. Same with the back. There's a mark. There's the mark on the engine side. There's a wiring harness. There. See, there's the mark. Well, you can really see the belt cracked on that end. There's the mark there. So, and you're also going to have this mark down here, which is kind of a little bit tougher to see. Here. Let's do this. Sorry for the shitty camera angle, guys. I'm not a producer here. Ugh. Right there. There's a little notch in this tooth. There's coolant dripping from the water pump. And then, right up from it, there's a little arrow. Right there. So that's all got to be lined up. And that is going to be top dead center. And also, I recommend taking your wheel well out. All your bullshit splash guard stuff is going to have to come off to get to the coolant hose over there. That's how I did mine. I didn't look for the drain. I know there's a drain, but it came out a lot quicker with the hose being pulled off. And it's the clamp type of hose that's like you got to pinch the clamp together to get it off. And it was pretty rusty, so I'm going to just replace it with a regular hose clamp. But this is the 2012 Honda Pilot EX. And yeah, that 14 millimeter bolt for that motor mount is a pain. And you need to support the motor when you're pulling those bolts from the top. These two top bolts up here, support it when you're pulling those, so you don't cross thread anything or tear it up, because it's, you know, aluminum. And then once you got those out, you can let the engine down. It won't go very far unless you've got a bad mount up front. And still, if it's holding up front, it's still not going to go very far. But yeah, chipping away at it. Good luck to you.